Hi there, Alana Corso, managing broker, co-founding partner of Dwell Realtors, coming to you this week to talk about house showing etiquette. So as our weather is warming up and we're seeing a little bit more inventory here on the Mid-Peninsula, showing activity is rather busy. And so I thought it would be good to do a little reminder check-in about house showing etiquette for all those buyers out there. So sadly, we are still in our global pandemic of COVID-19, and there are no open houses because of that. So if you see an open house advertised, it's actually violating all of the rules and regulations that our California Association of Realtors has put in place. So it's a big no-no. So we've been showing strictly by appointment only, and whether the house is owner-occupied or vacant, it's still by appointment only. Realtors either schedule appointments directly by calling the listing agent, or a lot of us use online scheduling tools like Calendly or Acuity. And then on top of that, you also have to, for every single house we see, we have to send the listing agent what's called a coronavirus entry advisory form, or a PEAD. So we docu-sign all of those before we go out and showing. So it's super imperative that we're prepared and organized and go out to do those showings. If your agent is saying, oh, we can just go stand out in front of the house and hope we can get in and squeeze in between appointments, I'm always really mindful of that. People have scheduled appointments, they've blocked their time. There's plenty of time in the week to go see houses. A little bit of a tip is go during the middle of the week if you have time, on your lunch hour or maybe after work in the early evening before it gets dark. It can be less crowded. Maybe you could have a little bit more time in the house, but you don't always have to see it at Saturday at 2, which is usually, it seems like, prime time for showing. So be flexible with that. Another thing to point out is that I would say a majority of houses, especially if they're owner occupied, have some sort of Ring, doorbell, Nest cams, different types of security cams throughout their property. I recently just toured a house that had, I think I counted, over 7 cameras throughout their property. So keep in mind that the sellers could be listening and watching you while you tour their house. So I like to remind my buyers, whatever we say may not be confidential in the house. If you have any commentary about the house, positive or negative, keep it to yourself until we exit the house and can talk in a confidential manner elsewhere. But so it's definitely prevalent. Listing agents are supposed to post if there are recording devices in the house. A lot of agents are good about that. Some don't, might forget. So I always just say, and you can usually see the cameras, but maybe they're hidden too. So just always be aware of that they could be listening and watching you. So my last piece of showing etiquette for you is to wear your PPE. I think everybody here is pretty aware that we need to be wearing masks everywhere we go. I try my best to stay at least 6 feet away from my buyers when we're out touring property. I can offer gloves. I always carry hand sanitizer, especially when houses are super busy on the weekends for showings. There's no way houses are being cleaned and disinfected between showings. It's almost physically impossible to do so. And so with that, you just have to be good about using your hand sanitizer, washing hands frequently, wearing gloves if you like to, especially when you're touching high touch surfaces like doors, closets, things like that. But I always come prepared for my buyers, so something to always keep in mind. But that's it. So we're still out, we're still showing. It can be busy. You can do it safely. You can continue to see houses as frequently as you want to, and kind of get out there and see houses as our inventory does pick up for spring. Obviously, if you have any questions or need anything, reach out to me at any time, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.